Oh, what a goal! McWilliams, he's done it! He's done it! The Michigan goal in the first period for McWilliams. Front, Pelkey scores! Pelkey! It's it! Welcome back to the podcast. My name is always Derek Clark, and let's get right into it as I have to always pick the color of the microphone. For the people that don't know, I use I believe it's called a mono, a mono microphone. And one of the cool things is always get changed colors. So today we're gonna go a little flash. They're kind of just flashing every color that's on the wheel, basically. Usually I pick red or blue, or if the Ducks win, orange. They won last night, 4-1 against the Lightning, and so recording this about almost a little over an hour past noon on the East Coast in the middle of nowhere, New York. Gonna be uploaded on the same day. So I'm recording this on Monday. It will be up on this Monday. So hope you all have a good week. It's been a good weekend so far. The Texans have finished 10-7 with a 23-14 win, thanks to our backups and Davis Mills and everybody else that's a backup uniform for the Houston Texans. We finished 10-7 in the regular season. We take on the Chargers this Saturday afternoon. Little playoff football. The Longhorns win 39-31 on top of the ASU Sun Devils. We take on Ohio State on a Friday night in the middle of Dallas, Texas. That's the Cotton Bowl. Semifinal playoff football. The winner of the Texas and Ohio State game take on the winner of Notre Dame and I believe, was that Notre Dame and Notre Dame and Penn State. A little bit of a interesting Final Four in the middle of the football season. But it is what it is, and it shall be that way as it will. So, we get that out of the way. We got a little bit of racing news as well. It's been an interesting one here. The dirt world has definitely had some conversation throughout the weekend on a Saturday night barn burner. That was definitely a Saturday night barn burner in the middle of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, for the people that have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll give you a little bit of a spiel. This year was the 40th year of the Tulsa shootout. Every start of the year, it's always going to be a good old start to the new year. It's always the 31st of December all the way to the January. This year was January 4th. It's always that week-long event in the middle of Tulsa Expo Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's the Tulsa Shootout Micro Sprints. We have 6 classes here. It's the Outlaws winged and non-winged, stock, wingless, and winged. And then you have a Class A, which is winged. And then you have junior sprints, which are kids and stuff. So 6 golden drillers get handed out. Notable names that won golden drillers, obviously, in the junior sprints. Brexton Bush. That's Kyle Busch's son, for the people that have no idea. Kyle Larson won 2 golden drillers, that being the stocked wingless and the winged outlaw. The non-wingless, or the wingless, was it the wingless? Or no, I'm sorry, the stock, I'm sorry, I have this wrong. The wingless, I'm trying to think. The wingless stock was not that. I'm sorry, that was completely wrong. The wingless stock was Cruz. That was Danny Cruz, or it was Cruz. Golden drillers. The next golden drillers were stocked wing and outlaw winged for Kyle. I'm sorry, I had that wrong. Kyle Larson winning 2 golden drillers. The final golden driller was outlaw wingless. Let me tell you something. Kyle Larson could have got 3 of the 4 golden drillers that he could have possibly won, because my, oh my, was that a race out there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in the middle of the Tulsa Expo Center. It was a wild one for sure. Christopher Bell got the lead, and man, oh man, it was a battle for the last 5 laps. Kyle Larson decided to hit that berm for the final 5, and man, he was ramping it. And if there was another lap, I think Larson could have obviously had gotten him, but Christopher Bell, as he said in his interview, thank you, Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs banned him from dirt racing for like 4 years. It's not the case anymore. Shout out Christopher Bell for winning a golden driller. Next weekend is the start, or next week is the start of the Tulsa Expo Center's other race, that being the Chili Bowl Nationals. Now you're like, what the hell is the Chili Bowl Nationals? It's another dirt racing event, the Chili Bowl Nationals, which ironically they sell chili. The Chili Bowl Nationals is midget racing. A midget dirt car is, although called a midget, not small. It is actually completely massive. Matter of fact, there is a man who this year cannot run the Chili Bowl, unfortunately, due to an injury, that being Riku Abreu, who runs the High Limit Racing Series 410 Sprint Cars. He is a little person. That is the definition that I have been told to use in this situation, so I will be titling him as a little person. He is a little person, and he is a kick-ass driver. The midget car is taller than him. It is about a little smaller than a sprint car. It is bigger than the car that you drive on the road. It is a big car. They will be running. It's a fifth of a mile that gets built in the Tulsa Expo Center. It is the Expo Center. It is a huge, massive building. It's an indoor track. It's an indoor facility. Tulsa Expo Center, middle of downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma. Shout out all the drivers, by the way. I hope everyone got home safely. There's a big snowstorm out there down in the southwest area, Tulsa, Oklahoma, all the way about to Washington, D.C. So hopefully everybody is okay down that way. Surprising there's snow that way as well. Being up here in New York, there is a little bit of snow on the ground, but not as much as they're getting hit. And there's a lot of ice on the road as well. I was informed by some family down in the Kansas area about almost 4 inches of snow on the highways down there in the southwest region of the United States. So shout out everyone, not only those drivers, but everyone in that area. Hope everybody is safe and doing okay. I've even been told there's feet of snow, 1 to 2 feet of snow already hitting the ground in some parts of the United States down there. So that's a disclaimer, but big deal down there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And what I've been told is the Chili Bowl is still going to happen. So we'll see what happens down there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Who will win that big midget race? 365 entries is the last time I was told for the Chili Bowl. There was over 1,800 cars in the Tulsa shootout. Of course, there's 6 classes of cars, but still, that's the most they've ever had in history. And I was also told that if they had about 50 more cars, they would have to start putting cars outside the venue and not allowing the trailers in the building, which is something they normally do in the Tulsa shootout and the Chili Bowl, and have to do like a little pit action going on, which is a little interesting to hear that a dirt race might have to have little pit stalls instead of an actual trailer being at the event. Kind of an interesting one. It's, unlike asphalt where you're changing tires like you see on NASCAR, you don't have a pit crew. You're only running, 10, 15 laps. In dirt, you're not really based on changing tires. You don't burn rubber. It's more of the air and in the tires, and then kind of like your traction is more based on how much air you can put in the car and how light you want the car. It's more of a car thing than the tire thing. Tires aren't. It's a whole thing in dirt. There's a lot more variables, in my opinion, in dirt racing than there is in the asphalt world. And if you disagree, you disagree, but you get the point. Speaking of dirt, let's go on to the cars with 4 wheels. Let's move on from the cars with 4 wheels. Let's move on to the bikes with 2 wheels. Supercross is coming up this weekend, going into the city that hosts my favorite NHL team in Anaheim, California, heading into Anaheim 1, heading into Angels Stadium, home of the Las Vegas Angels, although I don't fucking agree with that name. It's Anaheim. You're Anaheim Angels. I don't give a shit. Anyway, not important. The Angels baseball field, Angels Stadium, and so therefore Anaheim 1 and race 1 of the Supercross season kicks off this weekend on Saturday. Let's go Jet Lawrence, baby. Big Jet Lawrence guy. Shout out the Aussie in the 450s. The 250s, I'm a little interesting with that one. I've been kind of back and forth with a few riders in that one. Big interesting one there. I know Triumph is getting going with their bikes and have a heck of drivers there. I've been rooting for Triumph mostly in the 250s, to be honest. Got a couple good drivers or riders out there for the Triumph team, and then you have Gas. Gas has been doing good. I know Gas is doing there's been a lot of additional bike teams going, and their beta is in this. There's a French brand, I don't remember, that's being rumored to possibly be a 250 bike coming year or two from now. If anybody's listening to this, and please comment if I'm completely right on that statement, because I saw a rumor and stuff. F1 dropped their schedule. They start in March. Good to see there. Going to be interesting not only this year with having Lewis Hamilton being in a Ferrari and there's 5 rookies, which is the biggest rookie class they've had in years. But it's also going to be interesting next year in 2026 when you have an 11th team in the fully American team, in my opinion, in Cadillac coming in. It's going to be an interesting one there. General Motors Cadillac F1 in 2026. That's going to be interesting. I think that's going to be a completely new, interesting one. I have a little bit of Logan Sargent news. Logan Sargent officially is doing test driving in an Indy car. That's interesting to say the least. He, of course, left F1 after all that crap that I've gone off in this podcast about for the last, months, almost a year now, about how Logan Sargent had been screwed over in F1. He's now leaving. That is the second F1 driver that could possibly Roman Grosjean is now in IndyCar. There's a lot of F1 drivers going to IndyCar that don't get big opportunities that are doing good in IndyCar, and it's good to see Logan Sargent. He's been test driving IndyCars here and there, and it's good to see him in the IndyCar series. IndyCar's kind of blowing up lately in the last 2 or 3 years, which is good to see. IndyCar is actually really fun to watch, and it's good to see that. NASCAR kicks off in over just about a month. In February, Daytona 500, always interesting to see the Daytona 500, baby. We always love to see some NASCARs on the track, and it's always fun to see some racing going on in the world of motorsports. In the world of hockey, we go. Boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about there, and good to see this one coming out of the woodworks up in the good old country of Canada. Oh boy, do we have a lot of talk there. Canada was eliminated out of the quarterfinals about 4 or 5 days ago, and we saw a Canadian fan throw his Canadian jersey on the ice and everything else. World Junior Championship, Finland and the United States. USA looked for back-to-back goals, down 3-1 in the gold medal game. Came back to tie it 3-3. No scoring in the third period. All the scoring happened in the first and second period. Went to overtime. And how about this one? An overtime winner, 4-3. USA wins in overtime. They're back-to-back gold medals. And free bird, baby. Free bird indeed. Fly high. USA back-to-back golds. The next World Juniors, 2026 World Juniors, are in Las Vegas, Nevada. They will be played in the ice at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, where the Las Vegas Golden Knights play. They also will be in Henderson, Nevada, which is about 10, 15 minutes away. That's the AHL affiliate of the Vegas Golden Knights. Henderson, Nevada is like a suburb of Las Vegas. They're home to the Henderson Silver Knights of the AHL. Their rink will be used as well, is what I've been told. So that's an interesting one there. The relegation game was Germany and Kazakhstan. Germany won that. Kazakhstan has been eliminated. I don't know what country replaces them in the World Juniors. I have no idea, but we will, of course, eventually find that out come 2026. Man, that was a little short but a long spiel, I'll be honest with you folks. But that's basically what's been going on in the sports world. Just absolute mayhem. The Texans play the Chargers in the wild card. The Chiefs obviously have a bye. They lost 38-0 in a battle of backups against playing their backups against the Denver Broncos. And because the Denver Broncos won, the Broncos are now in the playoffs, and that's good to see Bo Nix in the playoffs. Bo Nix has been killing it out in Denver. They also finished 10-7 on the regular season, just like the Houston Texans. I will be completely honest with you. I have no clue on who is going to be in the Super Bowl this year. And let me explain why. Patrick Mahomes has had that ankle injury. I think a team can beat the Chiefs in the playoffs this year. I really genuinely do. I don't think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. And if they do, I'll be on a little rant here, and this will end the podcast because I'm going to be honest with you. If the Chiefs win another Super Bowl, I have a big feeling the NFL is going to lose a lot of viewership. And I'm not saying that as like, how do I explain this? I mean this as the casual person, not the big NFL fan. Okay? I mean this as the people that just watch the playoffs or like just watch the Super Bowl. And like if the Chiefs win again, people are gonna be like, "Oh, the Chiefs won again. Like, why are we gonna watch the Super Bowl?" Like if the Chiefs win again, I feel like you're gonna lose viewership from those people, from those type of people. It won't be a big group. Like it obviously isn't a massive group to drop a lot of numbers because obviously like they still average 25, 30 million fucking views, you know. But it's another thing to make that little group leave, and then it's just a little interesting to see if that's a problem. So, and another thing I will say is I think the Chiefs are beatable. You just have to play the game right. And I'm saying this is the team that will, if the the Texans Chargers game determines who plays the Chiefs in the next round. So I'm saying this is if we beat the Chiefs, if we beat the Chargers, I hope we beat the Chiefs. And if the Chargers beat us, I hope they beat the Chiefs. Like I say that in such a unique way in the aspect of like I really, really don't want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again. And I want a different champion. I think we deserve a different champion, especially in football. You know, and I'm gonna be completely blunt with you, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. And I know there's people that will argue this in the day until the end of time, and I'll say it here. Out of all four major sports leagues in the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, and the NFL, you cannot tell me that the NFL nowadays, with how it is set up, the NFL, the Super Bowl, could be argued as one of the easiest championships to be won because of this, because of nowadays. I'm not saying back then. I'm saying this is a really hot take, and I'm gonna get deep in this. There is an argument here to be said that because of the way the NFL works, you can easily win the Super Bowl with the way it works now. Okay? Because I've been thinking this for years. Right? For like the last 3-4 years, I've thought, man, I honestly like people. I really hate the argument about what's the hardest championship to win because we all know it's the fucking Stanley Cup. Because you're telling me you have to win 28 games, you're playing every other fucking day. Like, dude, it's obviously fucking Stanley Cup. Like, honestly, like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? But and I put an argument for other stuff too. But what I'm saying here is there's an argument to be here that the Super Bowl is the easiest fucking championship to win. Because think about it. Think about it for 5 seconds, okay? Think about it for 5 seconds. All you'd have to do, okay? All you have to do is have a really good coach. Look at the Chiefs. This is all they have. This is all they have. This is genuinely all they have. Are you ready? A really good quarterback, a great coach, a great O-line, and a good defensive coordinator. There is like half the people on the Chiefs roster you don't really know. Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes. Okay, you get those two. Those two always do commercials. And if you're an average person looking in at the sport, that's the only two people know. And it's kind of fucking true, dude. It's actually kind of true. Like, name me. Okay, then you have Clark. Like, I know Clark because Clark has my last name. But name me. Then you have Butker. Right. Name me. I got an idea. Name me the backup tight end of the Kansas City Chiefs. No one can do that on the fly. A Chief fan couldn't do that on the fly. I can do that as a Texans fan on the fly. Our tight end depth chart is Dalton Schultz and Brevin Jordan. That's facts. Okay? Name me the backup quarterback of the Kansas City, Carson Wentz. How do people know that? Because he was good for like a year, and he's still a good name. Okay? There's like this weird thing going on with the Chiefs. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I will also be that one sports fan that will 100% be on the other side in this moment right now. And I'll say there is a big possibility with the way the world works right now that the bookies of sports betting kind of control the fucking Super Bowl. I know that's a big like topic to talk. Like I know there's people that are like, that's just a rumor, and that's just you know like that's just just a little thing that people say. No, 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 no. There's a big possibility. There's a big. The White Sox, they throw games. There's been games thrown in the sports world for fucking money, for fucking players, for like sponsor bullshit. There's been games thrown for all kinds of weird reasons. Who couldn't tell me? And then here's another thing that could be added on to this, and I'll end it here. The NFL officials are the only officials in professional sports that are part-time hire. And what I mean by that is they aren't in they don't have a union. They don't have like a governing body. The league is the governing body. Like the NHL has the NHL, the NBA, the MLB. They all have like an officiating like a union or like a governing body that governs the officials. The NFL is considers them part-time employees and doesn't blah blah blah. They don't the officials don't have what the other sports leagues have. So what I'm saying here is there's a huge possibility where these officials, the NFL officials, like there's a lot of money bullshit there. The Super Bowl is the most watched sporting event every year. So why the fuck wouldn't people want to rig it? You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand that is actually a huge possibility. And that's the sad thing. Because there's so many people. Oh no, they're just a really good team. You're telling me like there's shit that I've seen, no matter the team playing in the NFL, when it comes to playoff football, there is a lot of freaking bullshit that happens. And it's the truth. There is stupid non-penalties. There's penalties that make no freaking sense. You're kind of seeing it in college football playoffs right now. Like, there's so much weird stuff going on in the world of football, in the NFL and college. You have the NIL. There's a lot of dark, weird crap going on with the NIL deal in college. I'm saying that money, people will never understand. Money is always the root of evil, and people need to start realizing it because it's starting to influence sports. It always has, but now it's becoming blatantly obvious in the world of football that there is a huge possibility that the Super Bowl and the college football playoffs is all rigged in a weird way for money reasons. People just don't understand that. All right, people. That's until next time, guys. My name is always Derek Clark, aka Mini Doc. See you in the next one. Peace.